The world's first steam-powered railway was opened for business in 1804, and since then, trains have come a long way. Whether it's the subway, the L train, the bullet train, or even a boutique cable car, trains are part of life for millions around the world, and they're getting faster, much faster. So join us for today's video, because here are the top 15 fastest high-speed trains of 2021. Number 15. Haramain Western Railway. One of the most important high-speed trains for large parts of the world population is the Haramain Western Railway. But what exactly makes it so useful? Well, it travels within Saudi Arabia between Mecca and Medina, two of the holiest cities to have ever existed. The Haramain Western Railway has been in partial operation since December of 2017 and was fully operational the next year. At first, many of the site's pilgrims would make their journey by car, which took 5 hours on a good day. But this bullet train cut the trip down to 2.5 hours, traveling at 186 miles an hour. And while getting religious pilgrims to and from Mecca and Medina quickly was certainly a main objective for engineers, the existence of the Haramain Western Railway also means far less traffic in the streets. On average, the Haramain Western Railway carries 3 million passengers a year. Number 14. THSR 700T. The THSR 700T is an important high-speed train service that operates between Taipei and Kaohsiung in Taiwan, which entered service with the Taiwan High-Speed Railway in January of 2007. Before the 700T's inception, the trip between the two major cities took about 4 hours, but thanks to this train line, the trip now only takes 90 minutes as passengers travel at a top speed of 186 miles an hour. The train was based on Japanese Kawasaki 700 Series Shinkansen trains, and this model is the first Taiwanese rolling stock to import Japanese high-speed rail technology. This was one of the largest privately funded rail construction projects in the world, with 30 trains being manufactured for the Taiwanese rail company. The entire high-speed train endeavor ran up a bill of a whopping $3.4 billion. Since 2007, though, it's been estimated that about 300,000 people ride the train every day. Number 13. E5 Series Shinkansen. Perhaps one of the most well-known bullet trains in the world is the H5 Series Shinkansen in Japan. This E-series of Hayabusa trains entered service in March of 2011 and initially reached a top speed of about 186 miles an hour. Since then, it's received an upgrade, running on the Tohoku Shinkansen line and has a maximum operating speed of about 200 miles an hour. But during trials, the E5 Series Shinkansen made it all the way to 250 miles an hour on the tracks in Japan, making it the fastest bullet train in the country. The train was manufactured by Kawasaki Heavy Industries and Hitachi, and it's operated by the East Japan Railway Company, or JR East. This high-speed train features a fully active suspension system, which greatly reduces vibrations, making for an easy ride for anyone trying to make it to work on time or just traveling from one locale to another. Another train with an elongated nose. This nose is just shy of 50 feet long and reduces the sound blasts in tunnels. So while this may be one of the fastest trains, it's also one of the quietest, so much so that you might not even see it coming. Number 12. Frecha Rosa 1000. As we've already seen on our list, Italy is no stranger to fast vehicles. They've been doing it for decades, and they're not showing any signs of slowing down. So that's why the company Ansaldo Drado Bombardier Transportation created the Frecha Rosa 1000, which finally hit the rails for commuters and travelers at the end of April 2015. This high-speed Italian stallion travels at a commercial speed of about 150 miles an hour, but can easily hit a max speed of 250 miles an hour when it wants to show off. Because of the color and speed, the folks at Bombardier nicknamed this train the Red Arrow, which serves as a long-distance passenger train that operates over multiple high-speed rail lines and was built with both safety and comfort in mind, with one of the more popular routes serving from Milan to Rome in no time at all. But what's really cool about the Red Arrow is that instead of roaring across the country, it's practically silent. So those living along the routes can still have some peace and quiet as this train goes by. But because the train limits its CO2 output, it's the world's first high-speed train to be given the Environmental Product Declaration. But perhaps its biggest claim to fame is its specific ERTMS system, which controls the train and eliminates human error. This high-speed train is proof that the future is coming and fast. Number 11. Fuxing CR400AF. Officially introduced in China in 2007, the Fuxing CR400AF is one of the fastest trains in the country and the world. Reaching a top speed of 260 miles an hour, this 685-foot-long train comes with a spleen design and a silver-gray body with a thin red line down the middle. So this train is as good-looking as it is fast, appearing as an elegant bullet as it speeds down the railway from station to station. But the design isn't all about looks either. The streamlined body reduces the train's drag, allowing it to reach those mind-blowing speeds on the Beijing-Shanghai high-speed railway line. And how fast will it get you from those two cities? It only takes 4 hours flat. This impressive high-speed train is also the fourth fastest bullet train in the world as of 2021. Number 10. Hemi 430X. Moving over to South Korea for the next entry on our list. The bullet train named the high-speed electric multiple unit 430X is the country's fastest train, carrying commuters to work at a top speed of 267 miles an hour. This experimental train, better known as the Hemi 430X, was opened to the public in May of 2012, and it's been a huge hit ever since. The coolest feature of this train, though, is its distributed traction along multiple motors, which allows the high-speed train to carry more passengers for maximum efficiency. But the train also makes South Korea the world's fourth country to develop the fastest-running train above 260 miles an hour, just behind France, Japan, and China. It may be a more recent addition to the world of high-speed trains, but it is certainly helping to set the standard for things to come. Number 9. Shanghai Maglev. As the name would suggest, the high-speed train that is the Shanghai Maglev operates throughout Shanghai, China, and it's operated as a joint venture by the Siemens and ThyssenKrupp manufacturers. Today, though, the Maglev is operated by the Shanghai Maglev Transportation Company, but this train's claim to fame is its magnetic levitation system that brings commuters and travelers from the Pudong International Airport straight to the heart of the city at an absurd 268 miles an hour. And for many new people to Shanghai, this is their first experience in the area as they watch the scenery whiz by in the blink of an eye. And because the Shanghai Maglev uses magnetic levitation, the ride is incredibly quiet and the train itself never touches the railway. It even uses half the amount of energy that a bus would use and a quarter the amount of an airplane. The opening date of this high-speed railway was on New Year's Eve 2002, and as 2003 rolled its head around the corner, the Guinness Book of World Records enrolled the Maglev to be the world's fastest train for commercial use. And while it is a record-breaking train, this isn't the first Maglev in existence. It's the third the world has ever seen, just behind the British Birmingham Maglev and the German M-Bahn. The Shanghai line is certainly the most groundbreaking and is now the oldest commercial Maglev still in operation and still one of the fastest bullet trains. Number 8. Euro Duplex. Another high-speed train built by the team at Alstom, the Euro Duplex is the third generation of the TGV Duplex and entered service to the public at the tail end of 2011. What makes this high-speed train stand above the rest, literally, is that all of the trains in this series are double-double interoperable trains that run across the European networks at 198 miles an hour. So they're tall and they're fast and can carry significantly more people than your average bullet train can. Try 1,020 people at once across multiple units, compared to its predecessor, which could only hold just over 500 at the time. This iteration of the Euro Duplex is designed to operate on French, German, Swiss, and Luxembourg rail networks, and it's equipped with a traction system that adapts to the different electrical currents that are used across Europe, making it one of the most versatile high-speed trains in existence. Number 7. Talgo 35. This entry on our list is a product of the Spanish company Patentes Talgo. The Talgo 35 is a very high-speed train that entered service originally with the name Renfe AVE Class 102. But since that name doesn't quite roll off the tongue, this high-speed train is simply known as the T350. So how fast does this thing go? Well, it reaches a top speed of 217 miles an hour as it takes commuters across Spain in no time. Patentes Talgo began trial runs of the T350 with a full-scale prototype in 2002, and they created the model to be optimally aerodynamic in order to properly safely handle the air pressure changes and air currents when it's riding the rails at its top speeds. And while this high-speed train may have a sleek and aerodynamic design, many locals tell you that the front car looks simply like a duck. And while the T350 is incredibly fast, its most important feature is the high redundancy level in traction between the rail and the auxiliary systems, and it's a lightweight, airtight, and pressurized 656-foot car body that can comfortably pass through the tunnels and crossings without missing a beat. This train was officially open for business in 2005. Number 6. Italo AGV. Speeding things up a bit is a high-speed train hailing from Italy. The first ever train in the AGV series, the Italo AGV first led passengers on board in April of 2012. The manufacturer, Alstom, will tell you that their Italo AGV is the most modern train in all of Europe, and they're right. The train moves across many of Italy's high-speed lines, usually at a moderate pace of 186 miles an hour, but it can easily reach a top speed of 224 when it's in a rush to get to the next station. The Italo AGV is 433 feet long, and it's made up of fewer bodies per train to reduce maintenance costs. But the interior of the train itself is going to give passengers a lot more space because this modernized train uses a permanent magnet synchronous motor. What makes this high-speed train really cool is that it will take up to 446 passengers from Rome to Naples in just an hour. And not only is this one of the fastest trains in the world as of 2021, but it's also one of the safest. Number 5. Harmony CRH 380A. Staying in China for the next entry, we've got the Harmony CRH 380A. The Harmony is 666 feet long, designed by the Chinese company Qingdao Xifeng and operated by China Railway, that operates at a cruising speed of 217 miles an hour and does hit a maximum speed of 236 while in commercial service from Shanghai to Nanjing. But if it needs to, the Harmony can go all the way up to an incredible 302 miles per hour. This high-speed train has been built with a vibration-free body, making for a passenger experience so comfortable that you'll likely forget you're even on a train. The Harmony incorporates advanced noise control technology, including a sound-absorbing and insulating material during construction, making this bullet train incredibly quiet to boot. But how is a bullet train able to hit speeds of over 300 miles an hour? It's in large part because of the low-weight aluminum alloy of the body and the aerodynamic fish-head fronts. The Harmony services thousands and thousands of people a day and can carry just under 500 passengers at once. It even offers a special VIP cabin near the driver's cabin to give lucky travelers the perfect view during their ride. The Harmony has been operating since 2010, and it's definitely a favorite train for many, many Chinese travelers. Number 4. Eurostar E320. British Rail Class 374, or as it's more commonly known, the Eurostar E320, has been in service for passengers since November 2015. This high-speed electric multiple passenger unit train serves destinations beyond the main routes of Paris and Brussels by the Channel Tunnel, reaching a maximum speed of 200 miles an hour, making it the 9th fastest train in the world as of 2021. This 4th-generation bullet train is yet another product of the Siemens Velaro family. The train has a traction power of about 16,000 kilowatts provided by the 8 identical and independent traction converter units and 64 axles. This train's propulsion system and technical modules are all located under the floor of the length of the train, meaning there's more space for passengers. The Eurostar E320 certainly lives up to its name, and it's incredibly popular mode of transportation for the local commuters, and was given a 20% capacity boost from its predecessor, upping the ante to be able to accommodate up to 900 passengers at a time. The Eurostar is able to operate across Europe's different power systems using the 8 separate pantographs on the roof. Number 3. Siemens Velaro. This next high-speed train on our list was developed by the German-based company Siemens and manufactured in their Krefeld-Uerdingen factory, and has been in operation since 2006. In that time, the Siemens Velaro has gone on to become one of the fastest high-speed conventional trains in the world. Since then, 5 variants have been made, including the Velaro E, the Velaro URS, and the Velaro D, all of which operate in various countries like Russia, China, and the UK. These trains are made with efficiency and sustainability in mind, meaning commuters won't have to worry about leaving behind a carbon footprint. And because the Velaro series trains operates in countries with extreme weather conditions, certain models have been specially designed to be fully operational in the snow and ice. The 656-foot-long Siemens Velaro can reach a top speed of 250 miles an hour. And because it can handle through the rough weather, it's without a doubt one of the coolest high-speed trains around. Number 2. TGV Pos. Okay, so we can't let Shanghai have all the fun. Folks in France need to get from point A to point B in a flash, sometimes too. So that's where the TGV Pos from Alstom comes in. Operated by the French National Rail Company, TGV Pos has been in service since 2006 on its high-speed rail lines. And while it is a popular line in France, it also connects to southern Germany and Switzerland, making travel between the countries an absolute breeze. And when you do make it to Switzerland, the TGV Pos will take you from Basel to Zurich at a top speed of 357 miles an hour. In fact, the POS set a new world speed record for trains in April of 2007. One of the POS's biggest claims to fame, other than its speed though, is its advanced asynchronous motors to help keep the individual motor isolation in a powered bogie in case of failure, making it both incredibly efficient and a safe choice for the region's commuters. Number 1. L0 Series Maglev. Another modern high-speed train that uses magnetic levitation is the L0 Series Maglev in Japan. And while it is certainly known for its speed, traveling up to a record-breaking 375 miles an hour, the L0 series is built with a very distinct-looking 49-foot-long nose. And while it may seem a little too long to the untrained eye, this perhaps silly-looking elongated nose is also what helps it allow to cut through the air like a hot knife through butter. The long nose means less energy consumption and a reduced drag that other trains can only dream of. Manufactured by the familiar Mitsubishi Heavy Industries and operated by the JR Central, the L0 Series Maglev is also the stretch limo of bullet trains at 980 feet long and can take you all around the Honshu region, with the most popular route being from Tokyo to Osaka, but can also cover ground from Tokyo to Nagoya, a 178-mile journey, in just 40 minutes flat. That's pretty fast. Watch our Vehicles playlist for more top 15 videos about amazing vehicles. Sit back, relax, and binge watch all of our best vehicle videos.